Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, your go-to place for the sharpest takes, the boldest insights, and the most unfiltered political commentary in South Africa. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments, especially today, because this story is dripping with drama, politics, courtroom fireworks, and a whole lot of sushi-flavored pride. Yes, you heard right. Today we're diving into a legal showdown involving none other than Kenny Kunene, the self-styled sushi king, nightclub mogul turned political firebrand, and Julius Malema, the EFF commander-in-chief who needs no introduction. And no, this isn't a parody or a comedy sketch, this is real, this is court-documented, and it might just mark a turning point in how South Africa deals with reckless political insults disguised as free speech. Let's set the stage. It all started with an interview Kenny Kunene gave on ENCA, where, in his typical larger-than-life fashion, he referred to Julius Malema as, and I quote, a cockroach. Not exactly tea and scones vocabulary, right? But it wasn't just tasteless banter. That word, that comparison, triggered a national backlash, not just because it was rude, but because of the historical weight it carries. You see, calling a person a cockroach isn't just street-level disrespect. It's the kind of language that has been used historically to justify violence, notably during the Rwandan genocide, where similar terms were used to dehumanize people before they were slaughtered. So when Kunene made that statement on national television, he wasn't just stirring the pot. He was throwing petrol into the fire of an already polarized political climate. Julius Malema and the EFF were having none of it. The Red Berets took the matter straight to court, filing a defamation lawsuit and calling out Kunene for what they described as hate speech. And the Johannesburg High Court has now ruled, firmly, in Malema's favor. Judge Thandi Mokoena didn't mince her words. In a detailed and powerful judgment, she said Kunene's comments were not only demeaning but downright dangerous. According to the judge, political speech has boundaries, and once you step into territory that incites hatred or strips others of their humanity, you're no longer exercising freedom of expression, you're abusing it. As punishment, Kunene has been ordered to publicly apologize to Malema within 7 days, and not just whisper it in a tweet or mumble it during a rally. The apology must be clear, unconditional, and published across every platform where the original insult was made, ENCA, social media, wherever. Kunene must also pay for Malema's legal fees, adding insult to injury, or should we say, court cost to ego bruise. Now here's where it gets juicy. Kenny Kunene, the man known for hosting wild parties, serving sushi off models' bodies, and walking through politics like a man auditioning for his own reality TV show, has gone completely silent. No public response. Not a peep. Which is highly uncharacteristic for a man who usually lives for controversy. But wait, sources inside the Patriotic Alliance are whispering that Kunene might not be planning to take this loss quietly. Apparently, he's considering appealing the judgment, potentially dragging this legal saga into extra innings. And you can almost picture the movie trailer voiceover, in a world where apologies are court-mandated, one man refuses to say sorry. Look, love him or hate him, Kenny Kunene has built a brand on controversy. His journey from convicted fraudster to sushi-flinging entrepreneur to deputy president of a political party is the stuff of documentaries. But courtroom drama seems to be where that story hits its latest twist. Meanwhile, Julius Malema and the EFF are basking in the win. Party spokesperson Sinawo Tambo called it a victory not just for Malema but for the quality of political discourse itself. According to the EFF, this ruling sends a message that gutter insults and violent metaphors have no place in a democracy that claims to be inclusive, tolerant, and mature. And that's a fair point. South African politics has never been shy. We've had walkouts, parliamentary brawls, name-calling sessions that would make schoolyard bullies blush. But the court is now signaling that there are limits, and when you cross into hate speech, there will be consequences. Political analyst Levindu offered a sharp take on the situation, saying this case could set a precedent for how the judiciary handles verbal attacks disguised as political criticism. In a democracy, sure, we need robust debate, fiery confrontation, and ideological differences. But comparing a rival to a pest that's historically been associated with mass violence, that's not politics, that's poison. The ruling itself doesn't carry criminal charges, and no jail time is involved. But that doesn't make it toothless. In fact, legal experts say the impact is significant. It sends a warning shot across the bows of all political leaders who think the microphone is a toy and their insults are bulletproof. It's also worth noting that this isn't Malema's first rodeo with courtroom drama. He's no stranger to legal battles, from tax issues to hate speech allegations, and he knows how to handle legal combat. This time, though, he's the one walking away with the win, and that win is being interpreted as a moral high ground moment in the eyes of his supporters. But what does this mean for political speech in the country? Some would argue it's a long overdue turning point. For years, South Africans have watched politicians drag public discourse into the mud. From racial slurs to threats of violence, there's been a growing public frustration with how leaders address each other, especially in front of cameras, where young people are watching and absorbing that behavior. Others, though, are worried. Will this ruling be used selectively? Will some politicians be protected while others are punished for less? That's the question being quietly asked in political circles and social media spaces. But whatever side you're on, one thing is clear: the courts are done playing referee to verbal boxing matches that go too far. Judge Mokoena's message was unmistakable: freedom of expression is not a license to dehumanize your opponents. So what happens next? All eyes are now on Kenny Kunene. Will he issue the apology and move on, or will he double down and appeal? And if he does apologize, will it be sincere or another performance dripping in sarcasm and sushi bravado? And more broadly, will this court ruling actually change anything? Will politicians tone down their language, or will they find new ways to insult each other while tiptoeing just inside the legal lines? We'll be watching closely. And of course, we want to hear from you. What do you think of the court's ruling? Was it fair? Should more politicians be held accountable for their words? And do you think this could actually raise the standard of political debate in South Africa? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, keep it respectful, but don't hold back. And if you found this video insightful, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Every click helps us keep bringing you unfiltered, in-depth takes on the issues that matter. Thanks for watching. See you next time.